All the Vedic literatures, including the Puranas, Vedas, Upanishad, and Vedanta Sutra, teach the living entities how to attain the stage of Rash. The Bhagavatam also says that the statement in the Mahapurana, Srimad Bhagavatam, constitute the essence, Ras, of all Vedic literature. Nigama kalpa taror galitam phalam. The Bhagavatam is the essence of the ripen fruit of the tree of Vedic literatures. Let me see why music has been stopped. Hmm. We understand that with the breathing of the Supreme Personality Godhead, there issued forth the four Vedas, namely the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Shama Veda, and Atharva Veda, and also the historic like the Mahabharata and all the Puranas, which are considered to be the history of the world. The Vedic histories like the Puranas and Mahabharata are called the fifth Veda. The 28 verses of the Veda Stuti are to be considered the essence of all Vedic knowledge. The four Kumaras and all other authorized sages know perfectly that devotional service in Krishna consciousness is the essence of all Vedic literatures. And they preach this on different planets, traveling in outer space. It is stated herein that such sages, including Narad Muni, hardly ever travel on the land. They perpetually travel in space. Sage like Narada and Kumaras travel throughout the universe to educate the conditioned soul that their business in the world is not that of sense gratification, but of reinstating themselves in their original position of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is stated in several places that the living entities are like spark of a fire, and the Supreme Personality Godhead is like the fire itself. If the sparks somehow or other fall out of the fire, they lose their natural illumination. Thus, it is ascertained that the living entities come into this material world exactly as sparks fall from a great fire. The living entity wants to imitate Krishna and tries to lord it over material nature in order to enjoy sense gratification. Thus, he forgets his original position, and his illuminating power, his spiritual identity, is extinguished. However, if a living entity takes to Krishna consciousness, he is reinstated in his original position. To preach this process of devotional service, sages and saints like Narad and Kumaras travel all over the universe, educating people and increasing their disciples. Their aim is that all the conditioned souls may be educated to revive their original consciousness or Krishna consciousness, and thus gain relief from the miserable conditions of material life. See, Narad Muni is a Naistika brahmachari. There are four types of brahmacharis. The first is called Savitra, which refer to a brahmachari who after initiation and the sacred thread ceremony must observe at least 3 days of celibacy. The next is called Prajapatya, which refer to a brahmachari who strictly observes celibacy for at least 1 year after initiation. And the next is called Brahma Brahmachari, which refers to a brahmachari who observe celibacy from the time of initiation up to the time of the completion of a study of the Vedic literature. And the next stage is called Naistika, which refer to a brahmachari who is celibate throughout his whole life. Out of this, the first three are Upkurvan, which means that the brahmachari can marry later. After the brahmachari period is over, the Naistika brahmachari, however, is completely reluctant to have any sex life. Therefore, the Kumaras and Narad are known as Naistika brahmacharis. Such brahmacharis are called Veeravrat because their vow of celibacy is as heroic as the vow of the Kshatriyas. The brahmachari system of life is especially advantageous in that it increases the power of memory and determination. It is specifically mentioned in this connection that because Narada was a Naistika brahmachari, he could remember whatever he heard from his spiritual master and would never forget it. One who can remember everything perpetually is called a Srutidhar. A Srutidhar brahmachari can repeat verbatim all that he has heard without notes and without a reference to books. The great sage Narad has this qualification and therefore, having taken instructions from the Narayana Rishi, he is engaged in propagating the philosophy of devotional service all over the world. Because such great sages can remember everything, they are thoughtful, self realized, and completely fixed in the service of the Lord. Thus, the great sage Narad, after hearing from spiritual master Narayana Rishi, became completely realized. He became established in the truth and he became so happy that he offered prayer to Narayana Rishi. Narad Muni addressed Narayana Rishi as an incarnation of Krishna and specifically addressed him as the supreme well-wisher of the conditioned souls. He stated in the Bhagavad Gita that Lord Krishna descended in every millennium just to give protection to his devotees and to annihilate the non-devotees. Narayana Rishi, being an incarnation of Krishna, is also addressed as the well-wisher of the conditioned souls. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, everyone should know that there is no well-wisher like Krishna. Everyone should understand that Lord Krishna is the supreme well-wisher of everyone and should take shelter of him. In this way, one can become completely confident and satisfied, knowing that he has someone who is able to give him all protections. Krishna himself, his incarnations and his plenary expansions are all supreme well-wisher of the conditioned souls. But Krishna is the well-wisher even of the demons, for he gave salvation to all the demons who came to kill him in Vrindavan. Therefore, Krishna's welfare activities are absolute. For whether he annihilate a demon or give protection to a devotee, the result of his activity is one and the same. It is said that the demon Putana was elevated to the same position as that of Krishna's mother. When Krishna kills a demon, the demon is supremely benefited, as much as a pure devotee is benefited by always being protected by the law. So Narad Muni, after offering respect to Narayan Rishi, his spiritual master, went to the ashram of Vyasadeva, his disciple. Being properly received by Vyasadeva in his ashram and seated very comfortably, Narad Muni narrated the entire story of what he had heard from Narayan Rishi. This is disciplic success. In this way, Sukadeva Goswami informed Maharaj Pariksit of the answer to his question regarding the essence of Vedic knowledge and what is considered to be the ultimate goal in the Vedas. The supreme goal of life is to achieve the transcendental blessings of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus become engaged in the loving service of the Lord. One should follow in the footsteps of the Sukadeva Goswami and all the other Vaishnavas in the disciplic succession and should pay respectful obeisances unto Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality Godhead Hari. The four sects of Vaishnava disciplic succession, namely the Madhava Sampradaya, the Ramanuja Sampradaya, Vishnu Swami Sampradaya, and Nimbarka Sampradaya, in pursuance of all Vedic conclusion, agree that one should surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Vedic literatures are divided into two parts, the Shrutis and the Smrutis. The Shrutis are the four Vedas, Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda, and Yajur Veda. And the Upanishad and the Smrutis are the Puranas and the Itihas like the Mahabharata, which include the Bhagavad Gita. The conclusion of all this is that one should know Sri Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the Param Purush, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, under whose superintendence material nature works for creation, maintenance, and annihilation. The Supreme Lord incarnate into three, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva. After manifesting the material cosmos, all of these take charge of the three qualities of the material nature, but the ultimate direction is in the hand of Lord Vishnu. The complete activities of the material nature under the three modes are conducted under the direction of the Supreme Personality Godhead Krishna. And this is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, Maya Dakshina, and in the Vedas, Sa Aksata. The atheistic Sankhyaiti philosophers will, of course, offer their argument that the material cosmic manifestation is due to Prakriti and Purusha, the material nature and the living entity, or the material cause and the effective cause. But Krishna is the cause of all causes. He is the cause of both the material and the effective causes. Prakriti and Purusha are not the ultimate cause. Superficially, it appears that a child is born due to the combination of the father and mother. But the ultimate cause of both the father and the mother is Krishna. He is therefore the original cause or the cause of all causes, as confirmed in the Brahma Samhita. Both the Supreme Lord and the living entities entered into the material nature. The Supreme Lord Krishna, by one of his plenary expansions, manifests as Corona Daksai Vishnu, Mahavishnu, the gigantic Vishnu form lying in the casual ocean. Then from that gigantic form of Mahavishnu, Garbhodakas, Vishnu, expand and entered into every universe. And from him, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva expand. Vishnu, as Sirodakshai, entered into the hearts of all living entity, as well as into the material elements, including the atom. The Brahma Samhita says, Andarantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham. The Lord is within this universe and also within every atom. The living entity has a small material body taken in various species and forms. And similarly, the whole universe is, but the material body is the supreme personality of God. Somebody has unmuted. Arvind Kumar Haribol. Please keep your phone muted. Thank you. The living entity has a small material body taken in various species and forms. And similarly, the whole universe is but the material body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This body is described in the Shastras as Virataru, as the individual living entity maintained his particular body. The Supreme Personality of Godhead maintained the whole cosmic creation, entering within it. As soon as the individual living entity leaves the material body is immediately annihilated. And similarly, as soon as Lord Vishnu leaves the cosmic manifestation, everything is annihilated. Therefore, only when the individual living entity surrenders unto the Supreme Personality Godhead is his liberation from the material existence possible. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Mam evaye prapadyanti mayam etam taranti. Surrendering unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead and nothing else is therefore the cause of liberation. How the living entity become liberated from the modes of material nature after surrendering unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead is illustrated by the example of a sleeping man within a room. When man is sleeping, everyone sees that he is present within the room. But actually, the man himself is not within that body. For while sleeping, a man forgets his bodily existence, although others may see that his body is present. Similarly, a liberated person engaged in the devotional service to the Lord may be seen by others to be engaged in household duties of the material world. But since his consciousness is fixed in Krishna, he does not live within this world. His engagement are different, exactly as the sleeping man's engagement are different from his bodily engagement. It is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita that a devotee engaged full time in transcendental loving service of the Lord has already surpassed the influence of the three modes of material nature. He is already situated on the Brahman platform. And is in the transcendental realm, although he appeared to be living within the body or within the material world. In this connection, Srila Rupa Goswami states in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that the person whose only desire is to serve the Supreme Personality Godhead may be situated in any condition in the material world, but he is to be understood as Jivan Mukta. That is to say, he is to be considered liberated while living within the body or the material world. The conclusion, therefore, is that a person fully engaged in Krishna consciousness is a liberated person. I'll be back. Sorry, lot of coffee. Need to be discarded. The conclusion, therefore, is that a person fully engaged in Krishna consciousness is a liberated person. Such a person actually has nothing to do with his material body or the material world. Those who are not in Krishna consciousness are called karmis and jnanis, and they who are on the bodily and mental platform and thus are not liberated. This situation is called Kaivalya Nirasta Yoni. But a person situated on the transcendental platform is freed from the repetition of birth and death. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter. Quote, simply by knowing the transcendental nature of the Supreme Personality Godhead Krishna, one becomes free from the chains of the repetition of birth and death. And after quitting his present body, he goes back home, back to Godhead. Unquote. This is the conclusion of all the Vedas. Thus, after understanding the prayers offered by the personified Vedas, one should surrender unto the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta part of the 87th chapter of Krishna, prayers by the personified Vedas. So we will embark on chapter 88. Yeah, we have a time. The deliverance of Lord Shiva. As a great devotee of Krishna, King Parikshit was already liberated, but for clarification, he was asking various questions of Shukdev Goswami. In the previous chapter, King Parikshit's question was, what is the ultimate goal of the Vedas? That we read at the end. And Sukadev Goswami explained the matter, giving authoritative descriptions from the disciplic succession, from Sanandana down to Narayan Rishi, Narada, Vyasdev, and then Sukadev himself. The conclusion was that devotional service or bhakti is the ultimate goal of the Vedas. A neophyte devotee may question, quote, if the ultimate goal of life or the conclusion of the Vedas is to elevate oneself to the platform of devotional service, then why is it observed that a devotee of Lord Vishnu is generally not very prosperous materially, whereas a devotee of Lord Shiva is found to be very opulent? There you go. In order to clarify this matter, Parikshit Maharaj asks Sukadev Goswami, quote, my dear Sukadev Goswami, say how nicely they are talking, huh? We have to become dear to all this personality. Somehow or other, we need to embrace their mood. Otherwise, we will keep on rotting in this material world, even though we know for sure that we are nothing but chewing the chewed. Still, we feel some satisfaction. That's unfortunate thing. So, my dear Sukadev Goswami, it is generally found that those who engage in worship of Lord Shiva, whether in human, demoniac, or demigod society, become materially very opulent. Although Lord Shiva himself lives just like a poverty stricken person. On the other hand, the devotees of Lord Vishnu, who is the controller of the goddesses of fortune, do not appear very prosperous. And sometimes they are even found living without any material opulence at all. Lord Shiva lives underneath a tree or in the snow of a Himalayan mountains. He does not even construct a house for himself. But still, the worshippers of Lord Shiva are very rich. Krishna or Lord Vishnu, however, lives very opulently, whether in Vaikuntha or in the material world. But his devotee appear poverty stricken. Why is this so? Haribo. We should really hear very sincerely the answer to these wonderful questions, because I have seen there was a one person was coming to our temple and he was very enthusiastic. He used to say that if you want to do the fundraising, I'll be the first one to pledge $50,000. Then everybody will follow like that. So then after some time, he was very frank, very friendly. He said, Prabhuji, you know, he said, I want to have more money to Krishna, but I know that Krishna devotee doesn't have that much money. So I'm gonna go to the Swamina, and if Pramukh Swami put that hand and put it on the back, you become rich. So no matter what we say, I'm gonna go to Pramukh Swami. I said, what can I say, Prabhu? Whatever is all, every living being has the individual choices to make. And if you feel this is the best thing you would like to do, then go ahead. And I see that his business was flourishing like anything. And he never came back to Hare Krishna because he was really looking for the money. And some internal desire, when it gets fulfilled, you become complacent. This is Maya Devi's hand. But anyway, where was it? I think at the temple. I saw his younger brother, and right away I recognized him. And I said, how is your elder brother is doing? You know, he was very nice. The younger brother still comes to Hare Krishna. So Maharaj Parikshit question is very intelligent. The two classes of devotees namely the devotees of Lord Shiva and the devotees of Lord Vishnu, are always in disagreement. Even today in India, these two classes of devotees still criticize each other, which we shouldn't do. Who are we to criticize someone? Just take care of your business nicely. Why you want to worry about other people? And especially in South India, the follower of the Ramanujacharya and the follower of the Sankaracharya hold occasional meeting for understanding the Vedic conclusion. Haribo. Generally, the followers of the Ramanujacharya come out victorious in such meeting. So Parikshit Maharaj wanted to clarify the situation by asking this question of Sukdev Goswami, that Lord Shiva lives as a poor man, although his devotees appear very opulent, whereas Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu is always opulent. You know, when I hear something, oh, Houston temple has a lot of money. What kind of attitude the devotee has? This is, I'm talking about initiated devotees. Krishna is always opulent. He is the richest person. It's declared in the Vedas. It is not something new. And just see how the Maya Devi put that thought into our mind. Oh, I have to help the poor temple. And you want to reside in Houston and beg the mercy of Nila Madhava. Does he know your heart, what you are doing? I have seen so many devotees like that. They say, why? The temple doesn't need any money. This is a totally Mayadevi's play. And you will see at the end of the life that whom they will turn to. They have not dedicated life to any single deities. If you look at all the acharyas, right? It's all Vishnu Tattva deities. And all our acharya has that profound rasa that they have that loving exchange with a particular deity. And you need to connect with some deities. Not that Nila Madhava is so rich, I want to help other temple. And you know the person, one thing I learned from the fundraising, the person who doesn't donate anywhere, they are the first one to claim, oh Prabhu, now you know in Houston before that Swaminarayan was there, ISKCON was there, but now look at that, how many temples. Everybody is asking donation. Are you giving? Asking, but are you giving to all temple? Come on, give me a break. Those who doesn't donate the money, they will always say that, oh, everybody is asking money, where to give the money? One time, and not to put him down, but he is the dry fruit vendor. And I don't know, somehow or other, you know, this Mayadevi play the trick, comes in the association of those. So he used to give me $4,000 or $5,000 every year dry fruit donation during Janmashtami. So one time, I think it was 3 years ago, and you can ask this to Nainamrat Prabhu, he was with me. And he became furious and he said, oh, all the temple is asking. I said, wait a minute, wait a minute. His name is Kamal Dama. I say, Kamal Bhaiya, slow down, slow down. Krishna doesn't need your dry fruit. We come here only being your well-wisher that you will be able to do some seva. And this seva will protect you at the end of the life. If you don't want to give, don't become angry. We don't need. Krishna is the richest person. And then he really calmed down. And he said, he apologized actually. This is the best thing he did. That Prabhu, please forgive me. I will never ever tell you anything. And since then, for last 3 years, we go and give him a list. He give whatever we need. So sometimes it takes some time to realize that who are we trying to please? This is how you are going to please your deity? And you want to worship Radha Nila Madhava? Go and show this deity where you are donating. Who is stopping you? If you have the love for other deities, go there and show them. But then there is always a material consideration. Oh, that place is too cold. I don't want to stay in that. I want to stay in a warm place. Why? This is all simple excuses. Really, those kind of a discussion come, it's unpleasurable. You want to establish the relationship, build the relationship genuinely, and show them with your heart. He is the only one, he will give you everything when you are in trouble. Nobody else will stand by you. You declare chapter 13, okay? Try it. And then call your friends. See how many, and make sure that everybody knows that you have filed for chapter 13. And then you call, and you will see how many of your good friends are in this material world. None. Not a one. Haribol. Really, it's bad to see like this kind of a consideration, and then you want to do the deity worship. What kind of a heart you are going there to worship that Lord? Do you think Krishna doesn't know it? So, to clarify the situation by asking this wonderful question to Sukadeva Goswami, the Lord Shiva lives a poor man, although his devotees appear very opulent. Whereas Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu is always opulent, and yet his devotees appear poverty-stricken. Appear is not reality, because devotees are always pleased. They doesn't need this nonsense material wealth, beauty, education. Once you get connected with Krishna, everything Krishna fulfill, and you should feel that happiness within your heart. Then and then you will become serious. That Shraddha should come in our life, which appears, this type of a situation looks contradictory and puzzling to a discriminating person. This is another thing. You know, so many devotees I have seen, they elaborately analyze the thing. Oh, this thing happened like this, so it should be like this. Who are you to understand Krishna? What qualification do you have to analyze? We have no brain to analyze. We will never be able to understand the plan of Krishna. Very difficult. But we feel that, oh, I can understand. The material energy is represented by Goddess Durga, and because Lord Shiva happens to be her husband, Goddess Durga is completely under his subjugation. Thus, Lord Shiva is understood to be the master of the material energy. The material energy is manifested in three qualities, like when we were going for the Kedarnath Yatra. One of my close friends from Houston, when we entered into the Kedarnath temple, he said, Prabhu, what kind of prayer we should do to Lord Shiva here? I said, beg the mercy. The Lord Shiva, please give me the devotion to Krishna. You have a lot of devotion. Just share a tinge of that devotion to us in our life. That should be our prayer. Not that resolve this thing, I'm sick, please make me good, or give me this so I can live happily. No, nothing. They knows what our needs are. Do you think Krishna doesn't know our needs? He is Antaryami. He knows everything. And if you have a faith, he will resolve all the problems. But if you try to solve the problems by your own intelligence, you will go in a whirlpool like this, under and under and under, and you never be able to come out. Although he is in association with three qualities of the benefit for the conditioned soul, Lord Shiva is the director and is not affected. In other words, although the conditioned soul is affected by the three qualities, Lord Shiva, being their master, is not. So from the statement of the Sukadeva Goswami, we should understand that the effect of worshipping different demigods are not as some less intelligent person suppose. The same as the effect of worshipping Lord Vishnu. I hope Arvind Kumar Prabhu is listening very nicely because all of us, when I became a devotee, I have all this picture of the demigod and everything. And then what I did is, I know my friend circle who worship the Durga Devi, give it that deity to them as a gift, Lord Shiva, whatever, one by one, and keep your altar clean. Just have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna on our altar, nothing else. Why we need all other demigods worship? Not necessary. And as you worship so many personality, how do you know which personality is actually helping you? It became really a madam person because you don't know that which deity is helping you because you are worshipping so many of them. How can you differentiate? Have a faith in one Lord. It says there should be one scripture, one guru, one dharma, and one Bhagavad Gita. Nothing else. So those who worship the different demigods achieve the desired result. The respective demigods can reward them. Similarly, those who worship the material energy receive the suitable reward for such activities. And those who worship the Pitrus receive similar results. But those who engage in devotional service or worship of the Supreme Lord Vishnu or Krishna go to the Vaikuntha planet or Krishna Lok. Unquote. One cannot approach the transcendental region or Paravyoma, the spiritual sky, by worshipping Lord Shiva or Brahma or any other demigod. What a wonderful sentence to end our session. I think that anybody has any question, comment, corrections, because sometimes I get really into some point that I have experienced, and my Gurudev was so heavy. He used to say that don't think Krishna is not looking. His principal advice was that Krishna doesn't look at how much money you put in the hundi. He sees how much money you are keeping in the wallet. And on the Sunday feast, I have witnessed it. Somebody will, become emotional when they see somebody is putting some money in the arti. They will open up their wallet. But if they see that there is no small change dollar bill, only 20, 50, and hundreds, they will close their wallet and put it back. They don't have that okay, Krishna has made that arrangement. Today, let me give $20. This is how we are calculative people in material world. And as we become more calculative, we are gonna bound up so much that it would be very, very difficult to come out. We are like a miser. We are totally miser people. We shouldn't call ourselves devotees. It at least the mercy of the Guru Parampara, Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj that has showered their blessings upon all of us. So we could become connected to the authentic process of self-realizations. But the purpose of taking initiation is not just to once a week come to the temple and do seva and rest of the 7 days you live like other karmi people. What is the then difference between us and the karmi people? No difference. So that kind of attitude, Krishna will not reciprocate, no matter how hard we will try. We can put a wonderful tilak, we can wear a wonderful silken kurta and dhoti, but Krishna doesn't look those things. Krishna looks at your heart, what you have for him. And that's the only thing Krishna becomes pleased. So I think I have gone over the limit. I will try to